Here we go.
There's a little bit of a somber moment here because it's a little bittersweet because we're actually in the process of selling our Class A that we've been in for the past year. It's a lot of silence.
It's a lot of silence? The sound of silence. Alright, so as we're filming this video, it's actually Memorial Day weekend. And we're taking you guys with us, again, because we want to share our experience with you. So we wanted to actually, vlog this experience of switching over from a Class A, and I guess we can let the cat out of the bag, as they say, right? That we are switching back to a fifth wheel and truck combination. Why? Chris, tell them.
Wow. Well, there's lots of reasons. But yeah, so we moved, if you follow along with us, we moved to a Class A last February. So we've been in our Class A just over a year. And when we bought that Class A, we, that our intention was that would be like our forever RV.
Forever, ever?
For a long time. And Michael really wanted a Class A. He wanted to experience a Class A. I was honestly perfectly happy. I loved our Riverstone. I would have been perfectly happy staying with that, with the exception of the bedroom, because it was...
And the bathroom.
And the bathroom. Bedroom more. The bedroom was super tight, and it was a queen size bed, and we really wanted a king size. And anyway, so we made the move to the Class A. And, one of the things we did is, we did some research on, what it would cost to maintain it, because we knew it obviously would cost more to maintain a Class A differently.
By the way, it does.
Yeah, yeah. And, one of the things we knew is that we would ultimately have to replace the tires, and the steer tires are obviously the most important thing. And so we did some research, but to be honest,
let's talk about that just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you're not familiar with with a Class A and the tires, they're date stamped. Every tire has a date stamped on it, and so they roughly say, for people on a Class A, that 5 years should be your max that you go on those tires.
But we did hear that the DOT was changing that to 7.
To 7.
Yeah. Yes. Now I don't know that for a fact, but that's what we've been told.
So we bought a 2020 used Newmar, and so we were already, at 2025, we were right at that 5-year mark. So we kind of knew going into it that maybe we should probably at least replace the steer tires. And that's, that started a thing for us of a huge expense right off the bat, buying tires. But you definitely need to pay attention to the tires and the date stamped on them.
Well, and unfortunately, the research that we did, I can tell you, I'm just being honest. Had I known how much it was going to cost to do that, go through that process, I would have said, no, we're not going to go to a Class A. So we did some research. We probably didn't do the best research. Boy, I'll tell you, AI now has some really good information that you can get a lot of details, when you are making a change. If you're making a change from a fifth wheel to a Class A, you definitely need to do your homework, and
especially used.
Especially used, yeah. And, it was, if you would have bought that coach brand new, it would have been close to $1 million?
Yeah, close to brand new. Yep.
And we know that they depreciate fairly quickly, and so we we still paid a good amount, but obviously much lower than what we would have paid buying a brand new Newmar Mountain Air. And But I think the thing you have to think about is it was close to $1 million rig, and so the maintenance expenses are going to correspond with that kind of vehicle.
Price tag.
Yeah, with that kind of price tag. And a 5-year-old coach, things are starting to wear. Now, when we bought it, it only had 20-some thousand miles.
Yeah, I think it was like 23.9. I don't know, it was something like that. So very low miles.
Yeah, low miles. And we knew that the people who owned it, or we were told that the people that owned it, you can tell just by the condition that it was in when we bought it, that it was
decently maintained.
Yeah, it was really nicely maintained. It was kept undercover. So, just all the things that you look for when you're buying a used vehicle. And, we've loved it. I mean, I'm not saying we haven't loved it, because it's been, through the winters, it maintains the heat so well.
Newmars are built solid.
Yeah.
Their cabinetry, the construction in the walls, the insulation. I mean, we had a pretty harsh winter here in North Carolina, and lots of snow and weeks, below 32 in the 20s, and there were days we had to turn on the air conditioner to cool us down.
Because you still have the sun, shining in the window. So, yeah, it's been a great vehicle, or a great RV, I should say. Excuse me. But I think we just, what we found is that because of the lifestyle that we live and the jobs that we have, which I wouldn't necessarily even call them a job. We're pastors of a church. We do what we love, but we're primarily.
Yeah, we stay.
We stay in one place.
We stay in one place the most, and then, go out.
From time to time we're able to get away. But, for being RV owners and being more stationary than traveling, that was one of my biggest concerns. Was we're buying an RV that has a motor and tires, and it needs to be run, it needs to be used, where with a fifth wheel, you don't, it definitely, it seems a little more realistic when you're staying more stable or stationary, staying in one place.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So just all these things that, we've been walking through. We've had to replace the coils on our landing gear. We
had some hydraulic issues that had to be changed out, and then we thought it was fixed, and then it wasn't fixed.
And when you live full time in your RV and you have to take it in to get work done, for those that do that, it's a hotel stay, or, and the last time we took our RV, or the Class A in, I was very adamant we need to make sure they keep it plugged in, because we have a refrigerator and a freezer full of food. It's, we live in it full time, and sure enough, we got there to pick up the RV, and everything went dark. Like, it clearly had not been plugged in, and it was pulling, obviously, from the electricity from the refrigerator. I literally broke down and cried. I was so frustrated, because what turned out to be one night in a hotel turned into 3 or 4 nights?
3.
Yeah, 3 nights in a hotel. And, we also had a dog. And so we were, in addition to paying hotel, we're paying, doggy daycare expense as well, just because it made more sense to have him there than in the hotel with us. And, so all those things start to add up. And then just, because we do full time, we have nowhere for friends and family to stay when they come and visit us, and everyone, with the exception of Michael's mom and sister, live in different states. Our kids, our relatives, all live in different states, and obviously, they can get a hotel, they can get an Airbnb, but we began looking back to the fifth wheel life.
Because although we had issues with the fifth wheel, because if you own an RV, you're going to have issues. I don't know what. I still can't figure it out.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's inevitable. There is no perfect RV, which we've learned from our first fifth wheels to our Class A.
But we felt like, the issues that we have more issues that we had to fix with the Mountain Air than we did when we had our Riverstone fifth wheel.
And the difference is we bought the Riverstone brand new, right? So obviously everything, and we had issues. I mean, we had slide out issues. We definitely had, stuff that happened.
Tankless water heater.
Yep. But we weren't living full time in that at the time. So it made it a little easier to take it in and be able to leave it until they were able to get it fixed. So
here we are. And so we're kind of catching up. So that got our wheels running. And of course, like a lot of you, we love to go to RV shows and take those in. And so we as we were thinking, hey, you know what? I think we just want to go back to the fifth wheel lifestyle. What kind of fifth wheel do we want to switch back to? We were back to a Riverstone. We definitely want to go back to a toy hauler because we still have our golf cart. So we still want to be able to have that flexibility. And so we ended up talking to a dealer that we've been going to, and having our both the fifth wheel back in the day, and then our Newmar at Blue Compass in Rue Hall, North Carolina, which I don't know, is about 25-30 minutes from where we are, so it's not too far away. And so we ended up talking to them, and I don't know if you want to give away the brand.
Well, we'll keep that top secret at this point, but we're working out a deal. And so here's the kind of the exciting part. We'll see how it all plays out today. But so we have a buyer for our Class A, but the rig that we want, we have to order it. So we aren't going to have it, we're not going to be able to just move from one to the other. So right now, the dealership.
So that's kind of like, when you go to McDonald's and you order you don't just say, I just want a quarter pounder. You say, no, I don't want it with onions, I don't want pickles. What do you got to do? You got to wait longer, to get it. Well, that's kind of like us with this fifth wheel. There are things that we want to add to it that don't come with it stock. So therefore, it has to take longer. So now we're in this conundrum of the coach being sold and going down the road. As we talk to you in roughly a week, it'll be going down the road, but we got to move out, and that's our house. So as of right now, we plan just to put everything in the parking lot and live out as neighbors.
Pitch a tent. But we've been looking into Airbnb options for short-term rental, and that's like super expensive. And hotel, obviously, long stay hotel. We were shocked at how expensive that was. And, and I have to say we're spoiled because we have a dishwasher in our RV. We have washer and dryer in our RV, just, the conveniences of home. So obviously we're going to be in this interim lifestyle, and we'll see. So the dealer that we're working with, Blue Compass, came up with a suggestion or an idea that we purchase an interim fifth wheel.
An interim fifth wheel. So, which initially we were like, wow, well that'd be like that's be a great way for us to still stay where we live, so to speak, and move from one thing into another thing. It's a lot of moving, but we like that option the best over having to do a long stay. But the question is, can we put together a deal that works? Because they've told us the fifth wheel that we want is probably going to take 4 to 6 months, and that's quite a long time. So if we could put together, a deal on something there, which they said they would work with us, which is awesome, and give us a great deal, so we can keep it for several months and then trade it in. But everything has to work out. So that's what we're doing today. So we are going Memorial Day weekend and seeing if we can put together a deal. Craig, who's the general manager at the Blue Compass that we go to, has been great to work with so far, and he's willing to help us see if he can put us in an interim fifth wheel. So we don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. It could be 10 feet long. It could be 30 feet long.
Well, when we originally had this conversation, there was a specific fifth wheel that we were looking to take over, and because the process of selling our Class A has taken a little longer than we thought, that particular fifth wheel sold. So now we're kind of back to, plan B in this situation. So we don't know exactly what we're looking at, but the hopes is that we will have, a decent interim option.
So stay tuned, and that's why we're taking you with us, because we wanted to share this experience with you guys, as we go through it. I mean, worst case scenario, we can't find anything, and then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do if we can't find something, because we want it to be fair to them, but also fair to us in the whole trading it back in process on what will be our final, fifth wheel. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can, put a deal together
that makes sense financially for us. So.
We are heading out to look at a potential temporary fifth wheel rig. So it's looking like we're going to see if we can put something together on the Grand Design Influence, which is, again, it's a brand that we've never been in. Maybe you've been in a Grand Design. Let us know your thoughts. Maybe you even own an Influence. I would love to know what your thoughts. It's a 2025, so they said they can make us a good deal on it since we're here in 2026 and it's still on the lot. So we're going to keep you guys posted. It seems like a nice setup. Okay, so we've already kind of walked through it with one of the sales ladies here, and she was awesome.
Unfortunately, it's not plugged in, so it's a little dark, right?
Yeah. So what were your first thoughts, would you say, when you walked in here?
Well, I love the kitchen space. Definitely, going to afford us a lot more counter space, and it actually is somewhat of a similar setup as to what our final kitchen will look like, which is nice. So it just kind of gives us that same layout. And I've definitely missed an island, so it's great to have the island. One of the things we won't have in the short term is a dishwasher. So
where?
We're going back to paper plates, plastic silverware. Yeah, no, but
the roughing it of camping.
Roughing it. Oh,
RVing.
No, but it does have a great sink. Holy cow! Look at this. Much different than what we've got in our.
In our new mower. Yeah.
So, and it looks like this sink style is definitely what a lot more of the campers are moving towards with this.
With a cup washer, So if you're like us, we have a bunch of Yetis.
Yeah.
So that'll kind of be nice to be able to spray some Dawn in there and then stick them on there.
Yeah, I don't know. We still have to figure out what all this stuff was. She didn't even quite know when she was explaining it to us. But, yeah, so
that's going to be nice. And then we, no convection.
Yeah,
microwave.
So we will not have a convection, which is going to be a bummer. But we've got the Furrion stove here, and then 3 burners, which we love the induction cooktop that we have in our Class A, and so I'm actually going to just invest in buying a countertop convection, or not convection. I just said it.
Induction.
Yes.
They're close to each other. Okay.
Yeah. So I just love that, it doesn't get super hot. When you take the pan off, it cools down really quickly. So it's just, and it even cooking. So we'll definitely have that as we move forward. But we got decent covered space.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is a pull-out. That's nice. That makes...
You have to get a step stool, but...
Yeah, definitely going to have to get a step stool. But good deep storage, which is nice. And then down here below, too. You can see it.
Yeah.
So...
That is deep storage there too.
You know, with the Class A, a lot of our storage is actually above our sofas. So it'll be nice to have it all concentrated in the kitchen. But lots of drawer space over here, which is nice. 2 banks of drawers. And that soft close. And then over here in the coffee bar, there's nice big pantry. Like even a plug-in back there. So
outlets, and that'll be nice.
So the one thing that's going to be different is this refrigerator, because we've had residential refrigerators in the last 2 RVs, and this is not a residential refrigerator, but it's good size, so it'll definitely fit everything that we need. We'll just have to, you know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't have an ice maker, so we'll have to we actually have an Opal ice maker, which we'll probably put in the RV in the interim for now. We keep it in our office at work, but you gotta have ice in the RV.
Yeah, and it does have 3 air conditioners.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
I know.
And then this slide out has, you know, your typical dinette.
Yeah.
Slide out chairs, so that'd be nice. I see a plug in underneath the table. And then we have your, looks like theater seating, I see.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe it has
USB, so I don't even know.
So maybe it's electric flips the legs.
Yep, that's right. Power is off, so.
Yeah, and we haven't investigated this thing too hard, so I'm assuming maybe that folds out too.
Probably a bed.
Not
that we'll probably use it that way, but lots of storage up here. This is huge. It's super tall and deep, but no shelves, so figuring out how to organize something there will be fun.
Yeah.
Then we've got a fireplace, which is always
That'd be kind of nice to have.
because it adds atmosphere. Oh, I didn't even need some more storage. So
Nice.
yeah. So just figuring out how everything will move from our Newmar into this space.
Yeah, so it'll be our first time in a grand design, so you know it's going to be interesting. And I know that this is not their top of the line, but this will be a great experience for us, to share with you guys, what a grand design product is like. Maybe you're a grand design owner already. You could share with us your thoughts. Maybe you own an influence, so we'd love to hear your influence on the influence.
Yeah, and we'll definitely obviously learn more about it because it's more of a new line, is what it sounded like, newer line in
their mid-range
design mid-range.
Yeah,
so it'll be fun just to see how work out all the bugs and
yeah. Do you want to
come on up to the? Oh man, and this is cool because. In here, we've got a coat closet, which is nice. Usually, you don't have deep cabinet storage here, and then up above too, same thing.
Yeah, that's nice. Plus, you got all your switches right there. Yeah. Thermostats down here,
and the bathroom is here.
Yeah.
Definitely go back to the foot flush toilet, which we've loved having the macerated toilet.
We're gonna miss that.
That is for sure. And just the nice porcelain, but I think it's got a good PPP.
Prime P position. If you watch Matt's RVs,
and then you've got some good linen storage space, which is great for sheets and towels.
And I got some hooks for your
right. And then back to the shower, which. It's a decent space.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually a tiny bit bigger than our Class A, the way it's laid out. So there you go. And then tons of space too. Really great space back here. And this, we wouldn't even call it a vanity. You'd call it a cabinet.
Yeah.
So, metal sink.
Metal sink, stainless. That's nice.
Good storage under there. So unfortunately, it's only 2 drawers, and that's definitely.
Chris will like that. You actually got too many devices.
All my devices want to fit in there. So, and then the bedroom.
Yeah, you can see, like we talked about earlier, this is a nice little nightstand over here. Chris will she'll like having that edge because.
I know. Let's see. This is a pretty big drawer. Wow.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things you can put clothes in there too.
And then me, I'll have that little 4-inch, 3-inch ledge to put my phone on it.
Hey. So what's in here? It's so dark in here. Oh, there's actually a clothes hamper in here. Ah, that's kind of cool.
Oh,
I don't know if you can
I don't know if you can see
it's
it.
too
Yeah.
dark, but that was one thing I really liked having in the Class A. And this has so much, I don't know if you can see if it's too dark, but it's got tons of like shelving back here for either shoe storage or clothes. So this isn't very long. I got a shelf up here too. Yeah, the clothes bar is definitely shorter than what we have.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Probably by half of what we have. So
You're probably right. We'll have to pare it out.
Interesting. And then again, we'll have a washer dryer installed in here.
Yeah, and you can see this could also be a closet, so
Oh, yeah.
you could hang clothes up there, but obviously we won't be doing that. We'll have a washer and dryer put in there.
Which then we'll move that to our final unit.
Yeah.
So.
And then we haven't really looked underneath here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right, just
a good amount of storage under there.
Yep. All right.
Good.
Can hide some dead bodies in there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But
And then, of course, your standard little dresser.
yeah. Well, definitely the mattress is
Yeah, it's an
definitely
RV mattress.
not up to par, so we'll have to figure that out. But what we may do is buy the mattress that we plan to put in our final destination, and then just swap this out and put it back when we trade this back in a few months. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great experience for us. I think it'll be, it's nice, 38 feet long.
I wouldn't say it's my dream RV, but for a temporary, it'll do the job. And that's the most important thing, is to be able to take our trips, to go where we need to go, and be able to live on our property without having to check into a hotel or an Airbnb for the next several months.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll look forward to sharing more of our experiences with this. But we just, as we're in the moment, as they say, we wanted to jump on and just kind of video our thoughts. And because coming out here, we didn't know what we were going to end up in, and here we are.
Yeah, this is originally we were hoping we would get into a Pinnacle, which was a nicer, definitely a little higher end than this particular unit. But again, it's temporary, and we're just looking for a space that'll accommodate us and work, and this will do it.
Yeah, this will do it. That's for sure. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Chris, what is going on next week in our wild, crazy life?
Yeah, so next week we'll be moving out of our Class A. We'll be going to get the Influence to bring it back home so we can move into it and set up camp.
Oh my gosh, my back still hurts from all that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ibuprofen sightings lately.
That is for sure. Hey, and if you haven't, we'd be honored for you to subscribe and follow along with us. It helps get RV content like ours out there in the algorithm. So with that, we say God bless
and safe travels.